Hey guys, welcome to Perspective. I'm Sadie.
I'm Brianna.
And we are here to have some honest conversations about life.
Vulnerable, real, not scripted, very raw.
Yeah.
Because life is real.
And we're not trying to act like we know everything because we sure don't.
By any means.
We are going to kind of share some of the things that we're currently learning. Some of the things that in the past we wish somebody was there to share about, so we'd love to share those things in case there's people like us.
Have you ever had time 10 years ago, like, I wish I would have known this? Because I have that a lot, where I'm like, how did I not know this at 21 or 18 or even earlier? Like, if I would have known some of these things then, I feel like I would have saved myself so much heartache and so much pain. Just finding spaces to just have honest, raw conversation about sex, about relationships, about pornography, about communication and emotional health and trauma, just all these things that some people are scared to talk about, and we're not afraid to talk about it. We talk about it all the time. Probably a little too much sometimes.
Probably. These are the things that we're learning for ourselves, so it's not us being like, hey, we've got it all figured out. It's like,
no way.
I've struggled with this, so I can kind of understand it, or I'm currently like, what am I supposed to do with this? There's things that we are taught, there's things that we pick up from the culture and people around us, and from my own life, getting to step back from that and be like, ooh, that part that I picked up, that's actually not healthy, and I don't want that a part of my life. And so getting to see that, then I can kind of make the changes in my life. But if I sit there like unaware of what's actually going on or what I'm actually believing about myself, what I'm actually believing about life, what I'm actually believing about other people, it's just not a way to live life. It's not very free.
It's not.
Some of the biggest times is when somebody has shared their story, and I'm like, oh, that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I didn't have the words for it. And so the hope again is to just, if there's one person out there who needs to hear this, you're not alone.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the thing, is you're not alone. We all have stuff. And I've even had people be like, oh, your life wasn't perfect. And I'm like, farthest thing from perfect. I've had a lot of struggles. I've had depression. I've had suicidal thoughts in the past. I've had abuse. I've had all these crazy things that help kind of also realize, like, nobody's perfect. We all have stuff, and we are not alone. And so that's kind of why we're doing this, is just to give a voice to our stories. And if there's anything in our stories that can tie and help relate to somebody, or just give people freedom to share their story and be open about it, because like when we're more open, then there's more freedom inside of us, and freedom to be like really who we're truly created to be. So there's a beauty in sharing stories and not being alone in it. Really, again, there's like things where, I was told not to be a burden growing up, which part of it is like, hey, if you're going to a friend's house or, family, like, hey, like, be helpful. Don't be like trashing the place and like them not liking you being there. But then also that like weight of like, well, you have to be perfect and you can't mess up. Like, that's what I took from it. Didn't mean that's what was told to me, but that's what I took from it. And it literally has affected my entire life and how I interact. And like, if I'm allowed to be sad or mad or upset, because that's too much of a burden for people. If you're not happy and go lucky and perfect, like that's what I took from it. And so just even one tiny little thing like that, and how it like really affected my entire life, is like, holy smokes, like it's really interesting. Our brains are phenomenal. But again, just giving that space to be like, hey, we all have those things, and it doesn't have to be some crazy traumatic event that happened in childhood that affects our lives. It can be that, and it has been that, and I've had some of that as well. But it's also even those little things that just kind of like get taught to us of like, oh, you're too much, or you're too loud, or you should like stop talking, or your voice doesn't matter. Whatever those are, like those follows us. And so just being aware and feeling willing to talk about it is a huge part.